Alright, I'm here with an updated look at my DS collection. I realized I had not updated my DS collection since 2015. That was the last time I ever put up, and I've only ever put up one DS collection video. And my DS collection is much bigger now, so we will go through that, and I'll give you some thoughts on the games I have, and um, maybe see if you can find any new DS games that might interest you, because I really like the DS. I think the DS is awesome. It has a huge library of really great games. It's what happens when a system becomes successful. The DS really had a lot working towards it, just for the fact that it was incredibly successful, and it also was pretty cheap to make games for. So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out there. And obviously, there's a ton of absolute garbage on the system, but I think it's pretty easy to avoid that stuff and find the real gems on this platform, which we'll be doing now. First game here is 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, and 9 doors. And I like this game. This is a visual novel, like puzzle-like game, and that's one of my favorite genres. And I feel like I should like this game more than I do, but I just kind of think it's all right. And I've never really been able to get into the other Zero Escape games with a Virtue's Last Reward and Zero Time Dilemma. I've never been able to get into them, but um, you know, this one's pretty decent. I played all the way through it and did all the endings and stuff, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't feel like I should enjoy it more. Uh, Worth noting, there's two different covers. This is the first print run cover of the game, and the other one has like it's like black, and it has the antagonist's like mask on it, and it says Zero Escape Chapter 1 or something like that. I like that one better. Animal Crossing Wild World. Um, this is the one Animal Crossing game I never really did play too much. I played a ton of Animal Crossing on the GameCube, and then I played a ton of Animal Crossing on the Wii, and never really gave this one too much time. But seems like a good entry. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. I got this at a garage sale for $1, and I was incredibly surprised to see how expensive this game is now. A lot of the Castlevania, especially like the Igavania games, really shot up in price. But I have not played this one yet. I really want to, but I have not gotten to it yet. A weird one, Chibi Robo Park Patrol. This only came out at Walmart in the United States, hence this absolutely hideous um, little thing that's actually on the artwork, not just a sticker. And it is a Chibi Robo game, and Nintendo has pretty much just kicked this series to the curb. After that, there was the one on 3DS, which was not that great. We got here Chrono Trigger. Yeah, this is probably the best way to play Chrono Trigger from all accounts. I've never finished Chrono Trigger. Don't hate on me for that. I do want to go through it again. I know there was a Steam version that came out, had some problems. I think they fixed it, but I still think the DS one's probably the best way to do it. Crash Boom Bang. Don't have anything to say about this one. I got it really cheap at a garage sale and never played it. Sorry, guys. Got here now Diddy Kong Racing DS. This is a pretty good one. It's just Diddy Kong Racing again, which Diddy Kong Racing is pretty fun. It's cool that they got that Rare was able to make a DS game even after being bought by Microsoft. I believe that was a clause somewhere in there, a purchase that they could still make handheld games for other platforms since Microsoft didn't have one. But pretty cool nonetheless. DK Jungle Climber. I've never played this one. This seems to be a pretty forgotten game, and I've never actually heard anyone ever talk about it. So I should check it out to see if it's actually worthwhile, but never have yet. Got some Dragon Quest games coming up here. Dragon Quest 4, Chapters of the Chosen. It's cool now. You can now currently play every single Dragon Quest mainline game on a Nintendo platform, I believe. Because even Dragon Quest X got a release on 3DS. So, on the Nintendo handheld, I should say. So that's in now. 11's on the Switch. So, I think that's pretty cool. I got here Dragon Quest 9 as well. This one's pretty good. I never finished it because it's like 10 million hours long. But it's still pretty solid. It's weird that they went from Dragon Quest 8 being on PS2 and then going down to the DS, going to a handheld that's less powerful. But Dragon Quest has always just kind of put themselves on whatever the most popular platform in Japan was. So I guess it makes sense. Dragon Quest Monsters 2 Joker. I have the first one loose, but I don't have it in the collection since it's loose. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, which is a remake of Fire Emblem, the first Fire Emblem game, and then we got a remake of Fire Emblem Gaiden on 3DS as well in Fire Emblem Echoes. But this one's pretty good. It's starting to drop in price a little bit, so if you can pick it up, definitely check it out. I remember it was expensive for quite a while. It's starting to drop in price a little bit. Final Fantasy IV, this is still sealed. I got it from the Square Enix store. They used to do this Black Friday deal, and they'd have their DS games for like $4 or something like that. It was crazy. So I bought, you'll see a bunch of Square Enix stuff that is still sealed because I bought them when they were cheap and just haven't gotten around to them yet. Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings, like a follow-up to Final Fantasy XII, which is kind of weird, once again, that they would put it on the DS, but I don't know. Fire Emblem Crystal Chronicles Rings of Fates. I've never been able to get into the Crystal Chronicles series. I'm not sure what it is. I've just never really been able to really, enjoy it. Final Fantasy, The Four Heroes of Light. And if I'm not mistaken, this was, it kind of looks like Bravely Default. I believe it's by the same team who did Bravely Default. Don't quote me on that. I think it is, though. And I think this is kind of what got them to let them do their own IP. Final Fantasy Tactics A2, Grimoire of the Rift. Once again, still sealed, so. Gaming Watch Collection. I wish I would have just kept this one sealed. I don't know why probably 2009 me opened this. This was a Club Nintendo only game. And they also did a sequel that I never got with my points, but you had to, it was a decent amount of points to get this. And I should have probably just kept it sealed as a collector's thing because it's just a couple of Game & Watch games that you can now play on your DS. I probably played it for like 10 minutes and was done. This is an awesome game here. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. This game is awesome. It is by Shu Takumi of the Ace Attorney series fame. And you're a ghost guy, and you got to figure out what happened to you and how you died. And you got to solve puzzles and stuff, kind of. You have the ability to rewind time, so pretty much every instance the story will take you to, you get an instance where someone will be about to die or about to get killed and in some ridiculous way, and this person is the key to you finding out what happened to you, so you have to rewind time and do a puzzle to figure out how to get them to not get killed or not to get injured in any way, and it is awesome. One of my favorite DS games, like top 3 DS game. It is great. Definitely recommend that one. You have to play it. It's great. Herbie Rescue Rally. As a child, I was obsessed with the Herbie series. It's a Disney live-action series about a sentient car, and I really liked them as a child. And I saw this at a garage sale at a thrift store or something for a couple of bucks, and I figured, why the heck not? Another awesome DS game, Hotel Dusk 215. You hold the DS like a book, and you go through this visual novel, and it has this really cool, like, black and white art, like hand-drawn art style, kind of like a kind of almost like a sketch art style. And it is great. Another really awesome game I'd highly recommend that you give a shot to because it is awesome. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Still sealed. I hate that. I hate that name. It's a terrible name. I don't care if it makes sense in the story. It's still a terrible video game name. And Kingdom Hearts Recoded. I've played Recoded a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of these mobile Kingdom Hearts games or handheld Kingdom Hearts games. I know Coded was a mobile game, and then they did Recoded and put it on DS. But not a huge fan. Although it should be said, I'm not a gigantic Kingdom Hearts fan in general. It's okay. It's fine. Kirby Mass Attack. This game's pretty fun. Kirby's kind of hit or miss for me. But this one's pretty fun. Really, really late release DS game. I remember this came out after the 3DS was out. And you got a bunch of Kirbys, and you kind of just control all the Kirbys and do whatever. Pretty fun. Kirby Superstar Ultra. This one's also pretty good. DS was pretty kind to Kirby. This one's pretty fun. Some games I'm not too huge on. well, I guess one game I'm not too huge on, and then one that I've never really given enough time to. Zelda Phantom Hourglass, I am not huge on. I don't really care for this game that much. I don't really like the concept, I guess, of controlling Link on the touchscreen with the stylus. I don't really care for that. And so that's why I've really never given Spirit Tracks the time of day, even though I know a lot of people do like this one. But maybe I will. Another random game I have, Lego Indiana Jones. I don't know. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. I know this one doesn't really get a lot of love, but I really liked this one. I don't know what the problem is, why people don't like this one, because I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty fun. And so is Bowser's Inside Story. I think this one's pretty good as well. Fun RPGs. They're pretty funny. They're pretty good. I like the Mario and Luigi, the first three at least. I wasn't crazy on Dream Team, and I haven't played any of them after that. But I like those first three Mario and Luigi games. Superstar Saga being on the DS. And it's kind of a shame when they remade Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story for the 3DS, but they skipped over Partners in Time, which I think is kind of a shame. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I have it because I found it for a couple bucks probably somewhere. I got it in a lot or something. I played a lot of the one on the Wii, and it is not a very good game. Mario Hoops 3-on-3. This one's pretty good. It's a Mario basketball game, and it has some Square Enix characters in it as well, if I remember right. If I'm thinking of the right game. Yeah, I believe Square Enix had something to do with this one. Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it had some... I was like, oh, am I thinking of Mario Sports Mix on the Wii? Because that one does have Square Enix games. That I'm sure. But no, this has some in it too. Square Enix was helped on that one. Mario Kart DS, pretty solid Mario Kart game. I didn't really... This is another one where I played more of Mario Kart Wii. I never really got too into Mario Kart DS, but it's still pretty good. Mario Party DS, I don't really have much experience with this one either. Mario Party on a handheld feels weird because... I've never really delved into it too much, just because, I don't know, you kind of have to... You have to have all your friends, and they each have to bring their DS, and never really got the... opportunity to do that. So it was more of a console Mario Party whenever I was with friends. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem. I'm not a big fan of this series. They haven't really done anything with it, and I don't really care because I'm not huge on the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series. Mega Man ZX. This cover is awesome. This is a great cover. But... solid Mega Man experience. They are doing the Mega Man ZX collection, so keep an eye out for that. Metroid Prime Hunters. Everyone said how awesome the online on this game was, which I never got a chance to play because I found this game in a garage sale probably after the online was shut down. Never got to try it out. So I'm not really crazy about what they had single player on this. It's impressive for the DS, but not really worthwhile now. But apparently the multiplayer was great. Kind of a shame I never got to play that. Namco Museum DS. I got this for a couple bucks at a garage sale. And it's a pretty good lineup of Namco games to have. You can bring with you. No complaints there. New Super Mario Brothers, the original one. Once again, I'm not crazy on this series. I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm not. I mean, I liked the Wii one and the Wii U one. This one's fine, but I'm not huge on them. They're fine, but they're not really that exciting. Nintendogs, Dalmatian? I had this one. It came with my DS, and it's kind of it's a fun experience. It surprisingly has a lot to do, and it's kind of a neat concept. I like that Nintendo kind of went weird with that. It sold 30 million copies or something like that, so obviously it worked out for them. But I don't know. I'm not gonna hate on it. I like it. I can't believe they've never done anything with it on phones. That would have probably been the first thing I would have done when they started doing mobile games, was Nintendogs. Okamiden, which is kind of a follow-up to Okami, not necessarily a sequel. I've never played this one because I've still never finished Okami. So, definitely on the list, though. One of my favorite series here we're going to be going through, now. So let me get these all up here. I got the Ace Attorney series, which I've said a ton. I'm going to kind of just go through it. I've said a ton about this series. I think it is fantastic. Although I'd recommend you now play it. They just did an updated version of it, of the trilogy, which is these 3 games here. This is the original trilogy of Ace Attorney. They just did a re-release, like an HD collection for the Switch and PS4 and Xbox One and PC, which I'd probably recommend you play it that way because it's a really, really, really good. They really cleaned up the graphics, made a new UI that works with widescreen, and it's great. But these games are awesome. This is my favorite set of DS games here, and probably top 3 favorite game series of all time. Really great series. That's the original trilogy, which I think is where the series is at its best, but I still think that it's fantastic. Actually, I'm lying, because there's another game that I think is better than some of the entries in the original series that we'll get to. Apollo Justice is Ace Attorney 4, which this game's, I think it's good. It's not great, but I still think it's good. It gets a little too much hate in the Ace Attorney fan community. This is a game I think is fine. Ace Attorney Investigations 1. It's okay. It's nothing spectacular, but it is still worth playing. But this game, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, this is my Japanese copy I got from my trip to Japan. This game is excellent. This is probably the second best Ace Attorney game. And it's a shame that we never got an English release of this. However, don't say that I told you this, but there is a fan translation that you can get. It's a patch so if you emulate, which I'm not telling you to do, by the way, but you should play this game. You should, who cares? Emulate this game, get the fan translation patch, because it's really good, and play this game, because this game's awesome, and it's such a shame that they did not release it in the United States. But yeah, definitely check out the Ace Attorney series. 5 and 6 are on the 3DS currently, and they are download only, which is a shame. Download only in the West, which is a huge shame. Hopefully we get some kind of re-release of those soon. I wish we would get a 4, 5, 6 trilogy for PS4 and Switch and everything. But yeah, I'd recommend Ace Attorney Trilogy 1, 2, and 3. They're all playable on DS. You can get the trilogy on DS as well as a download of 4 that they did an up-res version of 4, and 5 and 6. So on 3DS, you can play them all on 3DS, sorry. But yeah, highly recommend. Great series. One of my favorites. Picross 3D. I actually got this for, I think, 99 cents or $1.99 at a GameStop like a couple years ago that still kept their cases and didn't throw their cases away. I've heard good things about Picross. I've not played this one. I played one on the 3DS, and it's pretty cool. Here's just dropped it. Here's a completely random game I have that's sometimes in the backdrop of my videos. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. This also came with my DS when I got it, and I remember playing it. It was like okay, I think. I don't remember much of it, but got here Pokemon Heart Gold. We're getting into Pokemon territory now. And Pokemon Soul Silver, which I actually never played when they came out, so I don't really have much to say about them. They're kind of expensive now. I have the outer box for Heart Gold, but I don't have the Pokewalker for either of them. These are ones that I also don't remember much about this one. This is Gen 4, I believe. Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I played Platinum, I believe. I'm a kind of a more casual Pokemon fan. I like it more in concept than I do like playing the games. But I still don't, I like it still. But I'm like an ironic Gen 1er maybe, because that's the only set of Pokemon I really know, and those are the only games I know very well. But I still try to keep up with the series. We got here Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. These were the last ones I played to completion. Since then, I have not been as up on the series. I've played every entry since Black and White, but I've not played them to... I've not played them to completion. But looking forward to Sword and Shield. I know there's some controversy there, but I think it should be a good time. And Pokemon Black 2, which I actually never touched. I know it's great. I know people really like it, but I've never touched it. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team and Explorers of Darkness. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon's pretty fun. I'm not a huge like roguelike fan, but I played the one on Game Boy Advance and I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Pokemon Ranger. I know people don't really care about these Pokemon Ranger games. Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs and Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Alma. I've never really put too much time into them because I've not heard the best things. If I should check them out, tell me if there's one that's better than the other ones. But I've not really put much time into them just because I know they're not really too highly regarded. Another series I really like on the DS here, Professor Layton. Here's for the first one, The Curious Village, which I would probably say is the weakest one. Not huge on that game. It really took the later series to really get me in the game. We got Professor Layton in the Diabolical Box. Professor Layton in the Unwound Future. This is my favorite still. This one's great. Just awesome. Awesome game. This one I'm not as big on, but it's okay. Professor Layton and the Last Spectre. After that, they continued on the 3DS, the Layton games. So if you're going to want to play the rest of the series, you're going to have to move up to 3DS. One thing that bothers me is you got all these cool covers for the first 3 games, and then Last Spectre has this terrible plain artwork, which is a shame. But I'm probably the only person who actually cares about that. So, not a big deal. Sorry about my chair squeaking back here. I got to bend down to get these games. I'm in a different chair than I usually am to record these videos, so got to bend down and whatever. Pretty cool RPG. Radiant Historia. They did an updated version. Radiant Historia something. I forget what they subtitled it. I'm such a moron. On 3DS, they did an updated version. Perfect. Oh, it's such a stupid name. Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology, I believe is what it is. Kind of a stupid name, but cool RPG. Rhythm Heaven is awesome. Really great. I wish they'd do something with this series. They did that like a greatest hits version on the 3DS, but that was download only. But Rhythm Heaven is awesome. Highly recommended. Scribblenauts and there they go. Super Scribblenauts. My stack just fell over there. So these games are pretty fun. Really cool concept. They're puzzle games where you're given a scenario and you gotta write in like the name of something and it'll pop up, and then you can use that. So you got to get the star, and you got to really simple example. You got to get the star, and there's a big gap, so you write in bridge, and a bridge comes out. Super Scribblenauts is the far superior game. The first Scribblenauts is a bit rough around the edges, but Super Scribblenauts really came in and is just a way better game. And added like you can use describing words, so you can put like big bridge or big car or tiny car. Really cool concept. This series, they did 2 more. They did 2 on the Wii U. One of them was like DC Heroes, and the other one was, I played the first one on Wii U. It was a Wii U launch game, and that one was pretty good too. And then I don't think they've really done much with this series since. They came out with one like last year that was like half price, like 3 days after launch. It was like a party game. It wasn't even really Scribblenauts related, but those are worth checking out. I think they're pretty cool. Sonic Colors. If you liked the Sonic handheld games, like the Sonic Rush handheld games, I would say check that one out. It's pretty decent. Sonic Chronicles. This is a BioWare Sonic RPG, which you think, oh, BioWare made an RPG of Sonic, it should be good. No, it's terrible. It's horrible. The music is absolutely atrocious. Apparently, like, Sega lost all the music files. I don't know if this is true or not. Apparently, Sega lost all the music files, and so they just went on to, like, Sonic fan sites and just stole music from there. I don't know if that's real or not, but the music is awful, so I believe it. But yeah, this is a terrible, miserable game. Sonic Rush. Sonic Rush is really great. Really, really great Sonic game. Maybe this might be controversial, but maybe Sonic should just stay in 2D and not be in 3D. Sonic Rush Adventure. I've never played this one actually, which is weird because I like Sonic Rush, and the Sonic Colors DS version is pretty decent as well. Getting down to the last stack here. Oh, geez. Spyro Shadow Legacy. This game is bad. This is also, I believe, Spyro 5 in some way. Like, if you care about the Spyro lore, this is actually like Spyro 5. So, or Spyro 6, actually. So this is actually a mainline Spyro game. And it's not very good. Star Fox Command. I got this one pretty cheap. I've actually never played it. The only Star Fox I really care about is Star Fox 64. And I guess Assault's alright. But I don't really have much interest in playing Command. Because I've not heard the best things about it. Super Mario 64 DS. This is a pretty good re-release of Mario 64 that you can play on your DS. No real complaints. It is. Everyone knows Mario 64 at this point, and it's a pretty decent follow-up. If I got the choice, I'd still probably play the original, but a pretty decent, cool way to have it handheld since there's no way to have it handheld right now with the Switch. You can't play it on your Switch right now, so I guess this is the best way to do it. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. It's Super Monkey Ball on the DS. I like Monkey Ball. I never played this one. I like the GameCube ones a lot. And they got a re-release of the Wii one, I guess, coming out soon. Super Princess Peach. Kind of an interesting game. Definitely unique. I'd recommend it. Check it out. Tales of the Tempest. I got this. This is Japan. It only came out in Japan on DS, I believe. I got this for a couple bucks over there. And yeah, I can't really play it since it's not in Japanese, but I thought it was cool. We got here Teresia, which I've heard nothing but good things about. I picked up because it was the longest time to find this game, and I finally found it the same day I found actually the next game I'm going to show. And I've yet to try it out, but I heard great things about it. So right now, yeah, I'm just trying to pick up some DS games that I don't already have. So, especially harder to find ones like that one. But I have not gotten to all of them yet. This is one I did get. I got it the same day. Someone must have had really good DS taste and just traded these in at once. But I got it the same day. Time Hollow, which this is another really cool, underrated, hidden gem visual novel that you got to check out. Really cool. Kind of hard to find. It took me forever to track this down. I've been looking for it forever. But it is a really cool visual novel involving time travel. If you can believe it by the title. The World Ends With You. It's such a great, great box art and logo and everything. I have played a little bit of it, and surprisingly, I didn't click with me when I played it. I have the Switch version now, so I'd like to give that a shot and try to give it another chance, because I know it's a game I would like, but when I played it before, it didn't click with me at the time, and I dropped it probably after 5 hours or so. But I do want to get back to it and play it, because I've heard nothing but great things, and I know it's up my alley, so. Yoshi's Island DS. This is not a very good game. Yeah, it's developed by Artoon. I believe they're Arzest now, and they did like Fling Smash and the absolutely terrible Yoshi's New Island on 3DS and a Club Penguin game. Not a very good developer. And my final game in the collection, and I'm really, really ending this on a high note. I don't know why this is at the end of my collection when it's not alphabetically at the end of the collection, but I'm ending it on a high note. A sealed copy of Personal Trainer Cooking. I found this for $1 sealed. I figured why not. It's published by Nintendo, and it was developed by Indie Zero, who did like the Theatrhythm games. So like an independent Japanese company. They did Theatrhythm, Final Fantasy, some other stuff. Retro Game Challenge. So I figured I'd pick it up for $1 just because it's neat. But that's it. That's my DS collection. Obviously missing a ton. There's probably 200 DS games I could still get out of the collection. And I'm trying to. It's hard to find a lot of these good DS games, though. And the prices are starting to creep up, so I got to really jump on that. But if you have any suggestions, leave a comment below. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like the video if you enjoyed. And also leave a comment, what you'd like to see out of the channel. I'm trying to do more discussion-based videos. So check out my last one. I did a 5 underrated games that you should play from the 2010s. I want to do more discussion-type videos. So leave a comment below with what you'd like to see out of that. But until then, till next time, see ya. I guess. I don't know. Who knows?